It's time for another Dice Tower review with Zee Garcia.
Hey everybody, today I'm going to be taking a look at a trick-taking game called Blind Chicken Extreme, which is a re-implementation actually of a game I was not familiar with, Blind Chicken. And this one is from designer Michael Schott, who is a designer I greatly respect. I very much tend to like his games. He is the kind of designer that can do a lot with very little. Very few rules, nice amount of gameplay experience, tactics, that sort of thing. So I was curious, and I'm a big fan of trick-taking games. So, is this a good one? Do those two things come together and work for me? Let's take a look. So here's everything that comes in the game. You get a deck of cards, 0 through 49. Some of them will show a blind chicken. Some of them will show some pigs. You also get these 3 bonus cards for taking certain cards from the deck, and some penalty cards, which of course you'll get also from taking some blind chickens. And to set up the game, we're going to shuffle up the entire deck here, divvy that out, possibly removing some cards with fewer than 5 players. And then every player is going to take the cards they have in their hand, and they are going to sort those cards however they want to. Because once you start the trick-taking phase, you will not be able to move these cards around. And furthermore, you can only play from one end of your hand or the other end of your hand. And so once everyone has done this, let's say everyone's got their hand of cards here, then let's say it's my turn to begin. I am going to play this card to begin the trick. It would be this player's turn, and again, they can only play from one end or the opposite end there. And so this player is going to play the chicken. This player here can play from one end or the other end, which I'm just simulating for now, so they'll play that. This player will play that. And then this player, let's say they have to play this. Okay, because the other one is, I don't know, let's say that's what it was. There we go. And so once this is done and everyone has played one card, then you figure out who takes this trick, which might or might not be good. The highest card is the 48. They take all the cards here. Taking chickens is bad. At the end of the round when we score, each of these is -1 point. Taking more than one chicken at the same time is extra bad because that comes with a penalty card then. If there were 2 chickens in here, say this player instead of that had played this, well then the player winning this hand, winning this trick, which is the 48, highest card, gets both the chickens and this -3. If they take 3 chickens, -6, and so on. These keep going up. And then once this is all gone, then the player who took that trick would lead a new card, again only playing from one end or the other end. At some point you are going to have some pig cards show up. And the way the pig cards work is that if you take a trick which contains a single pig card, you get a bonus. You get one of these 3. And they have little special powers as well as being +3 positive points at the end of the hand here. You are going to play as many hands as you decide. That's sort of up to you. The rules say you can play 1 per player, that sort of thing. But that's, that's technically up to you. So if I'm playing here with 5 players, let's say, we play 5 hands and that's it. A couple of other things I want to talk about. Some of the symbols here you can see on these cards. Once you win one of these things, you're going to get a special power. And that special power is you play the next card face down when you lead the very next trick. This one says you get to pick who starts the next round, the next trick here. You don't have to lead. And this one lets you play from anywhere in your hand. So you can break that rule one time and play just from the middle of your hand somewhere. That's pretty much it. Be aware, though, that if there are multiple pigs in a single trick, you do not get a bonus. You don't get one of these 3. There's also some cards in the deck that come with that symbol built in, this play blindly symbol. And so in this case, when you play this card, it would come into play face down. The other players don't know what it is until everyone has played, and then you reveal that card and see who takes it, see what happens. Once the entire hand is done, the last trick being of particular importance here, I'll talk about that in just 1 second, then you're going to score up. Every chicken's -1. Every negative card, every penalty card is whatever it says. So let's say that's what it is. Every bonus card is +3. If you took no chickens at all in the hand, that's +3. And if you took the very last trick, you get to ignore either all the chickens you took or all the penalty cards you acquired. All right. There is one more thing. There is the 0 card has, for some reason, has a pig on it. That's the 0. Has a pig. They say in the rules this one does not count as a pig card. Not sure why they just wouldn't have, just don't put a pig there then. So they're creating a rules exception by just putting a pig on here and then saying yes, but ignore it. And during the very last hand only, if the 0 and the 49, which is the highest card, are both played into the same hand, then it's the 0 that takes it. That's it. So that should give you an idea of sort of how this goes. You basically just prep it all ahead of time, and then it's your turn to play. You play that card or that card. That's it. And then once this one's gone, you play that card or that card. You continue doing that, play a few hands, score up your probably very negative scores, and see who the winner is. All right, so as you can probably tell from the overview there, and if you cannot, then I'm telling you, this is my opinion, the game really does not have a lot of control. You are going to be getting dealt however many cards you get. You're going to arrange those cards into something you think makes sense. Everybody sort of has their own little philosophy. And then you play. And while you play the game, you've got 2 choices every time. Just 2. Doesn't matter how many cards you're holding. You play this one or this one, which is pretty limiting. And yeah, there's the clever aspect of, but once you play this one, then you have access to the next one. Yes. But there's really not a ton of control here. And on top of that, I really hate the scoring in this game. I really, really don't like it. Everything seems negative, and then almost the entirety of the deck doesn't matter. There's a couple of cards with chickens, a couple of cards with pigs, and then another 40 cards or something that are just nothing, right? So playing this feels like there's very little activity, very little emotion, very little engagement there going on. It's you can very easily, I think, fall into a trap of just sort of playing on automatic pilot, because usually it's pretty obvious which of the 2 cards you should play, that you can play, and you just rinse, wash, repeat, and I don't think I'm ever going to play this one again. I'm certainly not going to play again a full game of, sit down with 4 people and play 4 times. There's just nothing different the second time, except your scores are going to be worse, right? I mean, that's the thing. And so that's what I really don't like. It's a game that I wish would reward the players a little bit. I don't mind trick-taking games that have ways for you to get negative points and sticking people with bad stuff, right? Haha, you got to take some negative points because I gave you a blind chicken. Great. But almost nothing in this game is positive. That's the problem. And there's even one more rule that I didn't explain in the overview, with the 0 beating the 49. Also lets you wipe away an old score from a previous whole round. Fine, that's almost never, it's such a corner case. And then they go and put a pig on the 0 card, and then immediately tell you, ignore that pig for the pig scoring. There are 2 graphic images in this game. Did they really need to put a pig on that card? Put anything else on there. Or actually say it is a pig, here's a positive score, So as you can tell, I don't like it. I don't like it pretty much at all. I thought it was boring, it was random, it was chaotic, there's very little game, and somehow still with this little amount of rules and design, they managed to make it extremely chaotic and sort of a pointless endeavor. So for me, this is a big pass. Blind Chicken Extreme, definitely steer clear of this one. There are so many other better trick-taking games out there. Go check out some of those.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.